May I come in, sir?
No.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. You introduce yourself again.
I am Mukhmal Hayat. I belong to a village of Thal Desert in district Kushab. My father is a farmer who has also been a primary school teacher. My mother is a housemaker. After getting my early education in my hometown, I moved to Lahore and did my graduation in law from Punjabi University Law College. Throughout my academic career, I have been taking part in various extracurricular activities. In my school years, I was a co-editor of our school's annual journal. And in my university days, I was a part of Al-Mizan Society, which was responsible for publishing and compiling annual journal of our college in 3 languages, Punjabi, English, and Urdu. Back home, sir, I am a part of a small social welfare organization, which helps provide free education to children from poor households. As far as, sir, my hobbies are concerned, I love photography and sketching. I also read books, especially of poetry, and I love playing cricket in my free time.
You have done law.
Sir,
So how much marks you got in your CSS exam, interview exam? में कितने मिले थे?
sir, last time 135.
Meaning by you were having less marks in the written examination.
Yes, sir. I had only 600 marks in written exam in 2021.
Only 600.
Sir, only 600.
50% थे.
Sir.
तो अभी कैसे हुए? How you have done?
Sir, last time in my 2022 attempt, I secured, alhamdulillah, really well. If I would have passed this, I would have scored 733 marks, which would have placed me in the 5th position in terms of written score. This time around in 2023, I think I did well, really well, alhamdulillah. But result is not in my hand.
So you have done your LLB.
Sir.
Okay, just introduce Pakistan to all of us. The
Sir,
country profile of Pakistan.
Sir, Pakistan is a saga of unmet dreams. Geographically, it is one of the unique countries in the world which have almost all the types of topography. Culturally, we are a very diverse people. We have sweet Sindhis, Balochis, courageous Pathans and Pashtuns, Balochs, and very culturally diverse Punjabis. Sir, we have this distinction of being only Muslim nuclear state. We are 5th largest in terms of population. We have 9th largest labor force. And in terms of natural resources, we are a very blessed country, from salt to gypsum to bauxite, fire, clay. But unfortunately, owing to some historical and owing to some factors of geography and some socio-political factors, we have been unable to realize our true potential. But currently, I do believe that there are certain things that can make Pakistan, or that can take Pakistan in the right direction, which would be the rise of middle class, increasing role of women that we are witnessing in various fields of political life of our nation. Increasing role of youth, educated youth is also playing a massive role, and especially the continuation of democracy in whatever form or shape it is. I believe these are some of the things that I believe would take Pakistan in the right direction.
What is the size of Pakistan in terms of area?
Sir, it is around 7,96,096 kilometers.
Population?
Sir, according to latest digital census of 2023, it is around 240 million people.
What is the size of GDP?
Sir, in terms of rupees, our GDP is 105 trillion rupees. And in terms of dollars, it would be around $390 billion or $395 billion.
What are the main characteristics of Constitution of Pakistan 1973?
Sir, Constitution of Islamic Republic of Pakistan is federal in nature. First of all, we need to understand that. I believe it is the basic of the Constitution. That there is a clear separation of power or division of powers between federal government and the provinces. Second key feature of our Constitution is independence of judiciary. Third, I believe, is massive provision of fundamental rights, which range from Article 8 to 28. These are, I believe, three to four key characteristics of our Constitution. And in terms of language, our national language is Urdu, which is written in Constitution, and we have Islam as state religion. So these are some key features of 1973 Constitution.
You did your law, and one of the subject was US history also,
Sir.
criminology also, political science also. Now you tell me how you will differentiate between the Constitution and constitutionalism.
Sir, Constitution is a document that defines relations between citizens and its rulers, or it puts some limitations on government that while functioning it should not trample upon the rights of its subjects. As far as constitutionalism is concerned, constitutionalism is an ideology or is a way of doing things which adheres to the constitution, means respecting the constitution, mean what actually constitution says, doing what actually constitution says. I believe this is the key difference between constitution and constitutionalism. Constitution is a document and constitutionalism is a way or is an ideology.
Are you familiar with the National Finance Commission?
Sir, I am.
Currently, there is an award in force. What is the number of that award?
Sir, in terms of rupees?
I just want to know, this is a National Finance Commission award.
Sir, National Finance Commission award is awarded under Article 170 of the Constitution. As per the percentage formula, provinces get 43% and federal government gets...
What is the criteria for distribution of resources?
Sir, there are 4 key distribution formulas behind NFC. First one is population, which is given 82% weightage. Second one is poverty, which is given 10.3% weightage. The third one is revenue collection, which is given 5% weightage. And the last one is inverse population ratio, which is given 3.7% of weightage.
My last question. You tell me, who are the gainer and who are the loser in Ukraine-Russian war? Think and tell me something.
Sir, as far as the losers of Russia-Ukraine war, I believe the first ruler would be the Ukrainian people. They are the massive losers. When it comes to winners, I believe the biggest winner of this war would be China and USA, especially USA, I would mention. Because this Russia-Ukraine war has, again, make Europe dependent upon the security cover given by United States of America, which United States of America has been providing since 1949 NATO. This conflict has taken the security dependence of Europe on America to a new highs. Second, when I say that China is also a winner, because China would have Russia as a junior partner because Russia is certainly going to lose a lot of economic and political weightage at international relations because of this war. So China would like a junior partner on its borders. So I believe these two are winners. When it comes to losers, I believe these are Ukrainian peoples and especially some of the European countries too, because they have to suffer a lot because of their excessive dependence on Russian energy.
Thank you. Applause.
How will you differentiate between rule of law and rule by law?
Sorry, sir, I cannot differentiate between these two because I am familiar with the term rule of law, but when it comes to rule by law, I might confuse it with some other terms.
What will you propose about the delays in the trial of the cases? It takes years and years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. What can you tell us? Can you propose any measures to us that can, these delays could be overcome?
Sir, there can be multiple measures to address this issue of delays. First of all, I do think that there is a massive deficiency of judges in our courts because we know that around 2.2 million cases are pending before our courts. And one report of Lahore High Court mentions that around 1,000 vacancies are lying vacant of lower judiciary. Take the case of Supreme Court, around 54,000 cases are pending before our court and only 15 judges are dealing with those cases. And they too are involved in various political matters. There is also another second thing that I can mention here is the digitization of record. Land record were digitized and they helped a lot in terms of reducing the pendency of cases. But if we digitize the record of family marriages and land record should be digitized at a massive scale, this can go a long way. So the third would be constitution of benches, especially at divisional level. Currently, we have only 3 benches Lahore High Court benches in Multan, Bahawalpur and Rawalpindi. We should have them in Faisalabad and Sargodha too. Many people have to travel long way to get their cases done. Sir, the fourth key thing that we can minimize this dependency of cases would be in expanding and strengthening our prosecution system. I believe prosecutors are one of the stakeholders in our judicial system who are not given enough importance. If they are strengthened, they can, while liaising with the police, they can somehow help judiciary reduce this burden. So I believe, and there is also another fifth measure that I would suggest is alternate dispute resolution. ADR Act 2017 is still not being implemented at provincial level. It is just a federal law. So I think these are the measures that can somehow reduce the burden of courts.
We are a nuclear power. What does that it mean to us?
Sir, it means a massive thing for us. I believe at the back of our mind, we think we are secure because of these nuclear arsenals. We think that no country can invade us, like we have disproportionate military balance with India, and we think that we are secure. But they can become liability too because of having nuclear power. We have not developed our economy or of other areas which could have been developed, which could have gone in a long way in making our society a more sustainable society. For example, human development and other key aspects are being ignored. So we cannot sit idle just because of nuclear arsenals, but still it is a thing of distinction to have.
Little fashion sense.
Sir,
What do you mean by this?
sir, actually,
This is your weakness you have written.
Sir, I have mentioned this weakness because of my over-involvement in my studies. I did not have developed this fashion sense when I compared to other people.
You're very, very good dress. This is fashion.
Sir, I think you're right, but this is because of other people suggesting. If I was involved in selection process of my dress, I would have maybe bought a bad one.
Children,
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSP पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी।
Mukhmal Hayat, your third option is Foreign Service of Pakistan. Could you kindly share your thoughts on Pakistan's foreign policy?
Ma'am, Pakistan's foreign policy has evolved a lot since 1947. We had this beautiful ambition of siding with the Muslim countries and supporting right to self-determination while adhering to UN Charter. I think we missed realist part in our foreign policy. We have been more sentimental in our foreign policy approach. Even you see 1980s era wars, or even siding with 2001 after war on terror with the US. I believe that was a hasty decision that we made. We should not have taken part in that war. We missed more autonomy. We have not taken ownership of our foreign policy. I do believe there is a need to chart out a clear strategy when it comes to foreign policy. Let's see, ma'am, in the last decade, especially after 2010, we have seen that we have oscillated between US and China. We have siding with China with the initiation of CPAC, but especially with 2010 and in the last 1 or 2 years, we have seen that CPAC has slowed down to a massive scale, and we have going to the camp of America. Despite our massive ambitions, I believe that there is a need to have a neutral approach and a more realistic approach.
So you think that our rapprochement with the Russia is not more neutral than it was before?
Sorry, ma'am, can you please repeat the question?
Our rapprochement with Russia. What do you think about that?
Our rapprochement with Russia, especially in the wake of in the wake of Ukraine-Russia war.
No, since because we're talking about foreign policy, so in the last few years.
Yes, ma'am. I believe these were some economic compulsions that took us to the ambit of Russia. But Russia also needed some partners too. Russia was isolated, massively being isolated by US and other European countries even before the start of Ukraine war. So Russia also need Pakistan. And I also, when it comes to analysis of Pakistan's foreign policy, we have also missed the unity in terms of our stakeholders. Because in the wake of Russia-Ukraine war, for example, we were having good relations with Russia, but our army chief publicly condemned Russia when our civilian government had this stance of being neutral in the war. It is good to have good relations with Russia, but currently I think Pakistan should have to be more realistic, because we are massively dependent on Western aid and loans, so we cannot antagonize the West. We cannot afford that.
Your favorite personality includes Sarmat Khosar.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about him?
Ma'am, he is a film director, an actor and writer. And the good thing about him, or what actually he inspires me by, is because he has been addressing very social taboos through his films. In the last 7 to 8 years, he has directed 4 to 5 films which directly question various social taboos. For example, the state of transgenders, the contradictions among the lives of our religious scholars. So these are his audacity in the face of social taboos inspires me the most.
What do you sketch?
Actually, ma'am, sketching is a rare sort of drawing where we do not color things. And I love sketching human faces.
So you do portrait sketching?
Ji, ma'am.
Or photography?
Photography has been my passion for 3 to 4 years, and I love natural landscapes.
What is the difference between sketching and etching?
Etching is, ma'am, I might not find right English words, but etching is right carving in some hard structure. And sketching is just writing it on a paper or drawing it on a paper. This is a basic difference in my opinion.
What kind of poetry do you like?
Ma'am, actually, Faiz Ahmad Faiz is my favorite poet. I like romantic poetry, and I also like those poets who question our political or social contradictions.
So from this, should I deduce that you're focusing on Pakistani poetry? Because
Ji,
poetry is a very generic word.
Ma'am,
And
yes.
there is, English poetry also, French poetry also, Chinese poetry also, Japanese also, haiku, all those things. So you are focused only on Pakistani
Only, ma'am.
poetry.
Only
And
Pakistani
that
poetry.
too in Urdu?
That too in Urdu, and somehow in Punjabi too,
In
but mainly in
Punjabi.
Urdu, ma'am.
Who are your favorite Punjabi poets?
Faiz, Punjabi poet, ma'am, Sultan Bahu, rahmatullah alayh.
Sultan Bahu. Can you share some of his verses with us?
Yes, ma'am. In one of the verses, he actually preaches that we should look into our own self rather than finding God or divine guidance above everything.
So recite it.
Yes, ma'am. सुल्तान बाबू रहमतुल्लाह कहते हैं कि ये रब मिलदा नहात्यां धोत्यां मिलदा डडुआं मच्छियां हो ये रब मिलदा मून मुनाया मिलदा भेडां ससियां हो.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक यू मैम. मुकमल, मैं आपसे ऑप्शनल के क्वेश्चन करूँगा. I'll try to check depth in your knowledge. Well, in US history in present time, which party represents liberals and which party represents conservatives?
Sir, mostly Democrats are liberals, and Trump's Republican Party is a conservative in my opinion.
Woodrow Wilson belongs to which party?
He was Democrat.
He was Democrat.
Sir.
And Franklin Delano Roosevelt?
Sir, he was Democrat too.
He was Democrat too. And John F. Kennedy?
I am not sure about John F. Kennedy, sir.
Okay, and George Washington?
George Washington? Sir, he did not belong to any party. He was actually against any sort of political organizations. He thought.
Okay, can you tell how Hobbes and Rousseau contributed toward the making of US Constitution?
Sir, Hobbes' fundamental postulate that people render their absolute freedom in against Hobbes actually says that people render their absolute freedom in return of security. That was a key argument that American constitutionalists put to get constitution passed. As far as Rousseau is concerned, I believe Rousseau's general will should have been the part of American Constitution, because American Constitution is a Republican Constitution where people choose their representatives.
Okay, can you tell me what do you know about the liberties of English-speaking people? Because in the name of English liberties, people revolted against the mother colony.
Sir,
What do you know about the liberties of English-speaking people?
liberties of English speaking people were fundamentally incorporated in 1689 Bill of Rights of England, where English people, and even that very argument were used by American people before getting independence. They thought that they had same rights as Englishmen. They have to have a representation if they are to be taxed, or that they should have more say in their own decision making. I believe this would be the rights of English people.
And liberties rested in which great charter?
Liberty, sir, it is Magna
Liberties.
Carta.
Okay, you see, it is stated generally. It is stated that communism in USSR, with the collapse of USSR, died. And do you believe that Karl Marx was wrong in his philosophy?
Sir, Karl Marx had many loopholes in his philosophy, I do believe. First of all, he was not clear about which type of tactics should be used in order to bring communism, should be evolutionary one or revolutionary. Second thing, I think that he was wrong that capitalism can take turn in positive direction too, because there are many tools that can be employed in capitalism to realize. So we can see various socialist countries right now doing social welfare states, emergence of social welfare states. So I think Marx did not foresee that there are various forces that can even improve capitalist system for the good of the people, for the positive of humanity. I think that Marx somehow did not foresee things well.
Okay, what you believe? Socialism is better than capitalism, or capitalism is better?
Sir, if I am to ask, I believe I would favor socialist system.
Why?
Sir, because in capitalist system there is a massive inequality between masses.
God created us unequal.
Sir, God no, sir. I believe that if God has created it as equal, then there must be a sort of political system in place that should ensure equality rather than worsening that very inequality. So socialist system does provide means for the people at the lower ebb to rise and to have some sort of social mobility towards equality.
Okay, then tell, what is the dominion state?
Dominion state. So dominion status was given by British to the countries which were newly independent in 1940s and 50s. Those countries were not directly under the crownship of British crown, but they were somehow part of Commonwealth countries.
Okay, what is Article 58(2)(b)?
Sir, Article 58(2)(b) has been abrogated in Pakistan's constitution. It was placed for the first time in Zaira, and then again subsequently in 14th Amendment, University of God it removed, and then 17th Amendment. Actually, Article 58(2)(b) is about, it gives power to the President of Pakistan to dissolve National Assembly. It is not now part of the constitution, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Let's conclude this formal interview. Mukhmal, you are already through this mill. So last time you had 135 marks, ठीक है. अब ये है कि जो मतलब my advice is, मतलब माशाल्लाह you have got fine personality, communication skills ठीक है, intelligent हो, confidence और knowledge level भी बेहतर हो गए. Sitting posture ठीक है, voice impact भी तुम create कर रहे हो, सही है. अब I was thinking कि लास्ट टाइम तुमने रिटन पे तुम्हारे कम थे.
सर इंटरव्यू में भी कम थे 600, और इंटरव्यू में भी कम थे, मतलब शुड हैव बीन मतलब अराउंड 170.
तो चले, अब तो हम सारा इंटरव्यू पे फोकस करते हैं ना.
सर बिल्कुल.
अच्छा, एक तो तुम्हारा जो है ना इंट्रोडक्शन, ये मुझे तुम दोबारा बनाओ, 1 पेजर.
सर
2018 से 2023 का जो सफर है, ये कहाँ है तुम्हारा? व्हाट यू हैव बीन डूइंग?
सर मतलब आई शुड इनकॉर्पोरेट इन द इंट्रोडक्शन.
भाई बताते हो, 5 साल तुमने गुजार दिए डिग्री के बाद.
सर
क्या तुमने अपने रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाई है सर लॉयर?
सर मैंने कराई हुई है.
तो गए हो कोर्ट में?
नहीं सर,
नहीं गए। अच्छा, फिर क्या करते रहे हो?
सिर्फ प्रिपरेशन।
अच्छा, को फार्मिंग है तुम्हारा? व्हाट इज द सोर्स ऑफ इनकम? हु इज सपोर्टिंग यू?
फार्मिंग, फादर है मेरे।
कहाँ, खुशाब में ही है?
जी सर।
अच्छा,
क्योंकि हम छोटी सी फैमिली है सर, तो हमारी ज़मीन भी मतलब मुनासिब है।
ठीक है, मतलब है तुम अपने आप को थोड़ा सा एक्टिविटी क्रिएट करो।
ठीक
ना?
है सर।
तुम ये तो कह सकते हो कि जी मैं 2018 में लॉ किया, आई वेंट टू द बार, मैंने रजिस्ट्रेशन कराई, देन आई ऑप्टेड फॉर दीज कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन। ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड आई वाज सपोर्टिंग माय फादर इन द फार्मिंग। मैं फार्मिंग भी करता हूँ, मैं सुबह उठ के हल भी चला लेता हूँ।
ठीक है।
समथिंग लाइक दैट, यू नीड टू क्रिएट इट, स्पेस दो इसको अपने
समझ आ
आप को।
गया।
न्यूज़पेपर तुम यकीनन पढ़ते हो
सर बिल्कुल।
नोटबुक बनाई हुई है तुमने, तो उस पे पॉइंट वाइज तुम लेते हो मटेरियल?
जी सर, वैसे लेता हूँ जैसे अपने
पावर प्रेजेंटेशन पे हम पॉइंट्स लेते हैं 1 2 3 4 पॉइंट, तो कम से कम 100 टॉपिक।
ठीक है
कब
सर।
इंटरव्यू तुम्हारा?
सर मेरा 9 नवंबर को।
9 नवंबर को, तो तुम्हारे पास थोड़ा सा टाइम है, तो बस नेक्स्ट 2-3 डेज में अपनी एक नोटबुक बना लो, समथिंग लाइक दिस, ठीक है ना
सर?
और उस पे तुम ये जितने भी अपने पॉइंट है
सर
1 2 3 4 5 करके लिख लो, ठीक है?
ठीक है सर।
और उनको डेली रिहर्स करो।
ठीक है।
एनर्जी क्राइसिस पे है, या यूएस चाइना रिलेशन पे है, या पैलेस्टीन पे है, या यूक्रेन पे है। तुमने अच्छा काफी मतलब ठीक जवाब दिया है। अब आई वांट यू कि यू मस्ट मेक मोर मार्क्स
सर।
ठीक है ना? मतलब देखो, जहां बात करोगे एनजीओ की, वहां सोर्स ऑफ फंडिंग आ जाएगा,
जी
फिर ये सोशल इम्पैक्ट आ जाएगा, आगे वो एनजीओ के ऊपर बहुत सारी बातें शुरू हो जाएंगी।
सर।
दैट यू नीड टू बी, अभी तो तुम खुद एनजीओ के बेनिफिशियरी हो,
ठीक है सर।
ठीक है ना? और मैं इधर आता जाता हूँ, तुम मुझसे और जरा ठीक रहो। आप सर बताएं कुछ।
बस मैं आप इंग्लिश एलएल ये जो लॉ की जो है सीआरपीसी पीपीसी हो गई, इसको रिफ्रेश करें
सर।
अब ये इंक्वेस्ट कोई ये तो बड़ी एक आम सी चीज़ है
सर।
तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि इंक्वेस्ट क्या होती है, और ये रूल ऑफ लॉ, रूल बाय लॉ, इसका भी पता होना चाहिए, ठीक है? ये आप अपने जो है ये जो है ना सब्जेक्ट जो है इस पर तवज्जो दें।
सही सर।
इसको जाएं, इसको वो करें, रिफ्रेश करें, और बाकी ड्रेस आपका ठीक है, आप में पोटेंशियल है, यू हैव द पोटेंशियल, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स।
Because this is your last chance, we are feeling concerned. Yeah.
सर थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है ना मैडम? आप
आपका एक्सप्रेशन बहुत अच्छा है। यू आर स्मार्ट बॉय। नॉलेज गैप है, वो आपने फिल करना है, पहले भी था लेकिन अब आपका टाइम टाइट है, इसलिए ये शख्सियात आपने लिख दी है वहाँ पे?
यस मैम, लिख दी है।
अच्छा, तो इनके बारे में अच्छी तरह जान लेना, साकिब के बारे में भी और सरमद खुसरत के बारे में भी। इनकी नेगेटिव भी अगर कोई क्रिटिसिज्म है तो वो चेक कर लेना। सो बी प्रिपेयर्ड, रीड अबाउट देयर पर्सनैलिटीज। और इस सरमद खुसरत का भी आप जब पर्सनैलिटी देते हैं तो एक एस्पेक्ट देते हैं, लेकिन जब पैनल उसको देख रहा होता है तो वो आपको जानना चाह रहा होता है।
जी मैम।
और पैनल में बहुत ज़्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन होती है उनके पास अबाउट दीज पर्सनैलिटीज, तो जानबूझ के आपसे ऐसे सवाल पूछ सकते हैं जिनके जवाब कैन रिफ्लेक्ट नेगेटिवली ऑन यू। सो बी प्रिपेयर। जो आपने शख्सियात लिख दी हैं उनके बारे में फुल नॉलेज हो। सरमद खुसरत की क्या प्रोडक्शंस हैं, उनमें क्या क्रिटिसिज्म, क्या हिट हुए, क्या फेल हुए, सब पता होना चाहिए, फुल इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन दैट। हॉबीज आपने बड़ी वो एम्बिगुअस और इतनी सारी दे दी, आपको पता है इस पे इतने सवाल आ सकते हैं कि इसी में आपको लपेटा जा सकता है।
जी मैम।
सो ये सब लिख दिया हुआ है आपने?
यस मैम, लिख दिया हुआ, क्योंकि साइकोलॉजिकल हो चुका है हमारा।
हाँ, अगर इंटरव्यू में ऑप्शन हो तो कट इट डाउन, क्योंकि पोइट्री इटसेल्फ इज सच अ वास्ट सब्जेक्ट इन सो मेनी लैंग्वेजेस। आपने कोई स्पेसिफाई नहीं किया हुआ कौन सी पोइट्री, यू नो, उस पोइट्री पे ही आपको इतने सवाल आ जाए कि आपको समझ नहीं आएगी जवाब कैसे दो। सो बेसिकली इट्स अ कम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन। कंपटीशन के लिए यू हैव टू स्ट्रेंथन योर बेस।
यस मैम।
अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स को आपने हाईलाइट करना है, अपनी वीकनेसेस को कवर करना है। आप यहाँ पे फ्लैंक्स खोल रहे हैं बहुत ज़्यादा, बाकी आई थिंक यू आर फाइन। क्रिकेट में भी बहुत सवाल आ सकते हैं, लेटेस्ट स्कोर्स या भी जो गेम्स हो रही हैं उनके बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए आपको फुल, ठीक है। और इसी तरह ये बुक्स को भी एक दफ़ा रिव्यू करने जो आपने यहाँ लिखी हैं,
Yes, ma'am.
इन पे भी सवाल आ सकते हैं, ठीक है। आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट।
मुकम्मल, आपके लास्ट रैंक कितने थे रिटर्न में?
600 थे सर।
और उसके बाद भी दिया है?
जी सर, 2022 लास्ट ईयर।
उसमें कितने?
ऐसे के अलावा सर 693 थे।
693। अगर ऐसे होता तो फिर तो बहुत अच्छा स्कोर हो जाता। मीन्स कि आपने रिटर्न में इम्प्रूव किया ना, तो इस मतलब आपने जो इंटरव्यू में भी इम्प्रूव करना है
इंशाल्लाह सर।
अभी आपने जो आंसर्स दिए थे वो बहुत अच्छे आंसर्स थे, जो ऑप्शनल के
सर।
ठीक है। तो आई विश कि आप वहाँ पर भी इसी चीज़ को थोड़ा सा कंटिन्यू रखिएगा। मैं यहाँ पर आता रहता हूँ, 1-2 सेशन करके जाइएगा ताकि आपकी क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग डेवलप हो सके। आप सेकेंडरी या टर्शरी क्वेश्चंस करें इन्हीं चीज़ों से रिलेटेड, तो आप उनको अच्छे आंसर्स कर सकें
सर।
ठीक है। मुझे बता दीजिएगा किसी दिन
सर ज़रूर
इनसे पूछ के, तो फिर आप ज़रूर वो अटेंड कीजिएगा। आपका लास्ट टाइम है
सर,
इसको अच्छे से कीजिए।
मैं कोऑर्डिनेटर से
Thank
करके
you.
आपसे मिलूंगा।
चलो, बेस्ट ऑफ लक।
थैंक यू सो मच सर।